What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and I have a brand new Valorant video for you guys. So on Friday, August 18th, Valorant 12 the following, which is right here, your stay in paradise has been upgraded. At the start of episode 7 act 2, Breeze will return to the map rotation with a few changes. Fracture and Pearl will rotate out. Preview the changes below. And they had a thread of all the changes that they made, and I want to go over it with you guys. But before we do so, I would love for you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, leave a like on the video, and share in the comments if you love the changes that they made to Breeze. And so without further ado, let's begin. So first up, we have mid pillar and what it looks like before. And this is what mid pillar looks like after. So they put some boxes over to the left of the pillar so you can see if there's anyone in nest. Obviously, if you're Jet, you can just hop over that wall that they put up to the very top and go through that way. For the rest of the team, you'll just go through mid and go through the doors, which we'll talk about here later. Or you can go through the mid section and go to tunnel, which leads to B site. But it does look like they took out elbow altogether. That's an interesting change. I kind of do like it though. I do like it's a refreshing one. I do like the changes here that they made, and yeah, no, that's pretty much it really. I like the visual change of it as well. Kind of have like that, you know, closed off area over to the left, and yeah, it's a pretty cool change. So as mentioned, here's mid cubby and what it looks like before, and here's mid cubby and what it looks like after. Again, they completely closed off the left side and put a wall here. If you're on defense, you can see if anyone peeks over that by climbing on those boxes from the attacker side. It's a really interesting change. I do like it. I'm wondering if nest and this new wall is parallel to each other as far as like not having to jump to see if anyone's there. You just kind of get a good headshot. Hopefully I can get a couple of those while I'm there if I'm playing from nest. But yeah, I do like this change. Going through mid, you know, only one side. Hopefully you check that angle and make sure that no one's peeking, you know, from these corners or anything like that, being rats or whatever. But yeah, I do like the change. It's an interesting one. You can't tell if they closed off elbow or not, but that'll be interesting to see if they did so. But once we get the new map, I'll take a look at it and see. But yeah, I kind of do like this change here. All right, so here we have B side and what it looks like before. And here's B side, what it looks like after. This is an interesting change here because they took out the stairs that were onto the right there, and they completely walled it off in the back side. And we'll probably get a little bit more in depth here in a second. But they took out the wall and put a step here. So I think if you're playing Sentinel, it's probably good to like have different places to put, whether you're Cypher and put your traps, or if you're Killjoy, put your turret and your alarm bot. I think that's good for them, but other than that, it's probably be a little bit tougher to defend if I had to guess, because there's not as many places to hide as before. But it's an interesting change. I do like it. It's refreshing. Once I start playing it, maybe I'll get a different opinion about it, but right now it's a pretty interesting change. I'm not positive or negative about it, kind of in the middle there, but yeah, that's a pretty interesting one. All right, so we have B back in what it looks like before, and here's B back after. Again, they took out the stairs and walled it off altogether. They put a couple of boxes here so you can hop up and get to site that way, instead of having to like either go all the way around or go around the back side and go through there. This is an interesting change because you can't really peek from stairs anymore, because there was that wall that was still there, but they had the stairs. But now that it's gone, you have to peek around the corner or just kind of defend behind that box there if you can anyway. It's an interesting change. I kind of like it. If you're a Sentinel Initiator, maybe it'll be okay, but if you're a Duelist or a Controller, well, Controller, it'll be kind of beneficial for them too, but I guess if you're a Duelist, it kind of hurts you. But maybe once we start playing, I'll change my mind about that. But for right now, it's an interesting change for all of the other roles except for Duelist. But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty good change. All right, so next up we have A Hall and what it looks like before. And here's A Hall after. So I think this is pretty significant, at least in my opinion, because there were so many different ways to get to A site, and one of the ways was the hall. But looks like here they completely closed it off, and the only way you can see if anyone's here is just by peeking through the hole there, like at the very far end. Like if you're on defense anyway. But yeah, this is a pretty significant change in my opinion, like I said, because there were so many different ways to get to A site, and now that this is closed off, there's only really 2 ways. I mean, you'd have to go all the way around if you're going through mid, but that's too much work. But this is an interesting change. I do like it because that way it's just one less thing to defend, unless you just want to hang out here or whatever. But yeah, I'd like it. So next up we have mid doors and what it looks like before, and here's mid doors after. So I did see that they straightened out the right side of the pillar. I forgot to mention it earlier. And then they put a couple of boxes on the other side of this crate here to the left. But the biggest change obviously is completely opening up the door. So rushing in and through an attack or defense, there's more than one person that could go through here instead of just one person at a time, because the door was like slightly open. And then obviously they put a wall to flush out the back of it, if that's the right word to use. I feel like it's a somewhat significant change. It's not like a massive one. That's the biggest one, obviously, the biggest change as far as like going through mid doors is concerned. They probably took the shootout going from A hall down to mid, so that's probably not there anymore. But it's okay. I mean, it's a change, I guess. Not a really big deal. I'm just more concerned about what they did to the sites, and so far so good, I guess. So here's A shop and what it looks like before, and here's A shop after. So it looks like from the outside looking in, they widened the door a little bit, and it looks like the stairs is still here, but you can see like in the back there that they made quite a few changes. So they put a crate onto the left and right side, and I'm pretty sure it will have a better look at it from A cave, which is what we're going to look at here in a second. But just not visually, there's not a whole lot going on here. It looks like you can still peek through A hall, as I mentioned earlier, to see if there's anyone trying to defend that area. But other than that, visually speaking, there really wasn't a whole lot going on here. It's just Desmond's chop shop and how you go through here. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting one. But again, we'll look at A cave and get more detail out of it. All right, so we have A cave and what it looks like before, and here's A cave after. So I think they wanted to lessen the number of options to get to A site, because I felt like there were several different ways. And what they did was obviously they took out A long and just walled it off altogether. And visually it looks great. So obviously if you're attacking going through here, you don't have to worry about checking this middle part where that small box is to see if anyone's peeking through there. But as far as defending, you just hop on this box, peek to see if you can catch a couple of people. I personally wouldn't do that, but if they're rotating to A, you can hide on this small box here, and hopefully that no one checks there before going onto A site, and get a couple of picks that way. But it's a pretty significant change, and I do like it. It lessened the number of options, and visually it just looks great altogether. So I do like this change a lot. And lastly, we have A site and what it looks like before, and here's A site and what it looks like after. Visually, there's not a whole lot of changes, but the two that stand out obviously are the two stations that are on the pillars, which are the shrimp and the crab. It's pretty obvious as to why they wanted to make that change, but I'm pretty sure people are still going to call it by the old callouts instead of the new ones that they can potentially make. But other than that, that's pretty much it as far as A site concerned. Nothing else changed. So overall, my thoughts is that I do love all the changes that they made. It freshened up the map completely, in my opinion. The two of my favorite ones I think that stand out to me the most were A shop and A cave. Again, they lessened the options as far as getting to A site, and I think that was a pretty cool change. It was pretty much needed if you really think about it. But yeah, that's pretty much what my thoughts are. I would love to know what you guys thought. Do you love all the changes? Do you hate them all? Do you love some and hate the rest? Just let me know in the comments what you think, and let me know in the comments if you like these type of videos as well. I do like making them, and if you want more, just let me know in the comments, and I'll keep churning them out for you guys. But that's gonna do it for the video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell everyone that a new video is going up. And I'll talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.